There's a point where something sounds too good to be true, and it usually is. A woman in Fort Worth named Arpita had her second daughter in February 2026.
Weeks later, while the baby was sleeping and her toddler was eating cereal off the floor, she saw an Instagram ad promising the government would deposit $1,000 into a savings account for her newborn, completely. Her phone, searched for the Trump account, found IRS Form 4547, and filled it out in under 3 minutes. Standing in her kitchen, she told her husband they had just received free money for the
Read the rest of the document. That's what the headline says.
But after spending the last 2 weeks reading the actual fine print, what I found does not match any version of free money I've ever seen. So let's go through this together. The gift is real, but the cost is real too. And nobody told Priya about the cost.
Proverbs warns us, the simple believe anything, but the prudent give thought to their steps. Right at the top, the form asks for your child's social security number and date of birth. Born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028 qualify for the $1,000 government deposit. If your child was born outside that window, there's no seed money. Every child gets $1,000 story is already narrower than it sounds. This account is officially called a Trump account under Internal Revenue Code Section 530A.
The IRS describes it as a traditional IRA for a newborn. Most people hear tax-advantaged and assume the money grows and comes out clean. But that's not what a traditional IRA means. Every single dollar of growth will be taxed as ordinary income when withdrawn, at the same rate as regular paycheck income, not the lower capital gains rate.
And if the money is taken before age 59, there's also a 10% early withdrawal penalty. As the Bible teaches in Proverbs 14:15, the naive believe everything, but the shrewd man considers his steps.
I spent the last 2 weeks reading every IRS notice and regulation on this account. Over 4 million families have already signed up, and almost none of them were told the full story.
The government gave your child $1,000 at birth, but if that child tries to use it at age 22 to buy a car, they could lose 30 to 40 cents of every dollar to taxes and penalties.
The real math on the gift. The account also comes with strict investment restrictions.
It can only be invested in mutual funds or ETFs that track a qualified U.S. stock index like the S&P 500. No bonds, no international stocks, no target date funds, nothing safer as your child gets older. 18 years, the entire account is locked into U.S. equities with zero diversification. The American stock market has had lost decades before, but the long-term trend is growth. If that happens during your child's growth years, the account could sit there losing purchasing power with no way to adjust. Compare this to a 529 plan, which allows age-based portfolios that automatically become more conservative over time.
Trump account offers no such wisdom or flexibility. Now let's talk about what happens when your child turns 18. On their 18th birthday, full legal control of the account transfers to them. You're completely off the account. That teenager now controls what could be over $100,000. They can withdraw it, all of it.
Yes, there are taxes and penalties in most cases, but exceptions exist, and nothing in the structure prevents them from taking the money and spending it. This is where Proverbs 22:7 becomes relevant. The borrower is slave to the lender, but the undisciplined can also become slave to poor decisions. The education math is where this account really falls apart.
Your child needs $60,000 for college and you pull it from the Trump account. The growth portion is taxed as ordinary income. That same $60,000 pulled from a 529 plan comes out completely tax-free for qualified education expenses. That difference can easily add up to $25,000 to $35,000 over 4 years of college. Arpita filled out that form in 3 minutes because financial documents are designed to feel simple and low stakes.
Scripture reminds us, diligence leads to profit, while haste leads to poverty. So what is the Trump account actually good for?
The $1,000 seed is real, but the tax treatment, the lack of diversification, the loss of control at 18, and the massive disadvantage for education savings are also very real. Take the $1,000 if you qualify, but understand what you're actually signing up for. Don't put your child's education savings into this account thinking it works like a 529. One thing, ultra long-term retirement savings. If your child leaves the money untouched, converts it to a Roth IRA in a low tax bracket, and doesn't touch it until age 59, but that requires extraordinary discipline from an 18-year-old staring at a 6-figure balance. The gift is real. The $1,000 seed is real, but the tax treatment, the lack of diversification, the loss of control at 18, and the massive disadvantage for education savings are also very real. The difference isn't a detail. It's tens of thousands of dollars. As faithful stewards, we are called to be wise with what God has entrusted to us, not just for today, but for the next generation.